The purpose of my speech today is to propose some concrete solutions for schools to prepare and protect students in the event of an active shooter situation. Since the Columbine school shooting in 1999, over 228,000 students have experienced active shooter situation at school. The topic of school shooting is relevant to all of us, whether we're students, teachers, aspiring teachers, or parents. School shootings are becoming the new normal, and there's little consensus on how to regulate firearms or deal with this in a legislative manner, and especially address mental health concerns. Therefore, preparing students and teachers now with safety skills is a paramount concern. Gun violence at schools takes a variety of forms. The largest percentage of gun violence is homicides, assaults, and mass shootings. Mass shootings being responsible for the largest percentage of casualties. Nearly all the people who are responsible for mass shootings have some sort of prior association with the school, and their firearms were acquired from family members usually. They're not purchased illegally or even purchased at all by the shooter themselves. Causes of gun violence are widely varied. A lot of them relate to untreated mental illness in the cases of perpetrators. A leading cause of school shootings, demonstrated by case study, is bullying in schools, and this is closely tied then to the use of psychiatric drugs, which frequently have side effects of violent outbursts and have been directly linked to school shootings in many cases. Schools should invest in a wide variety of security features that are available to them that would significantly reduce an active shooter's access to students. It's almost like a whole industry now of different devices and measures for schools that are available to upgrade their facilities and protect students in the event of gun violence. There are classroom features such as armored doors, HD security cameras, and even potent pepper blasters given to teachers that have demonstrated effects to mitigate harm in the event of an active shooter. The number one successful measure has been proven to be detailed, thorough, and repeated training for students and staff on how to address these situations. Having regular drills, having strict plans that students are well informed about, as well as teachers, so has actually been shown to really lessen the casualties of a school shooting, and even prevent shooters from harming anyone. Cooperation between parents, students, school boards, and the government is going to be necessary if we want to create the safest possible environment for children to learn. By implementing these safety features and measures, the government can work with schools to provide meaningful assistance with this issue rather than just debating gun control options at length. One example of a school that has put into action maximum protection for their students is Fruitport High School in a Michigan school district. Architectural design for their new construction school is modeled after World War II trench design, actually. It has curved hallways, easily accessible barriers, on-demand locks on classroom doors, and carefully, meticulously planned spacing so that the line of sight of a shooter would be reduced and the ability to cause mass harm would be limited. These safety features were designed specifically so that prior knowledge of the campus wouldn't enable a shooter anymore, which could mitigate some of the damaging effects of these shootings being instigated by people who are already associated with the school and familiar with the campus. Employing proper safety measures across the board at public schools would create a more positive learning environment in the future, where fears of gun violence at school can be eased through concrete answers for students and information about what to do in the event of a tragedy. If public schools implement a strong safety procedure, the future will see decreased harm from incidents of gun violence and optimistically reduced incidents of gun violence altogether due to the deterrent that strong safety measures might create. The fact that students have to fear the potential of gun violence in their learning environment is unacceptable. By implementing simple features discussed, student fear can be alleviated. Parents, students, and teachers can contribute to their community knowing that safety is a priority. In this environment, all students' needs would be met, including students who struggle with mental illness or are victims of bullying. Addressing some of these issues as part of a safety plan could greatly reduce threat of future shooters. Addressing the needs of all students will contribute to a better future in which all children can learn and thrive as healthy and stable individuals. If schools choose to continue with weak safety measures or unclear safety measures, the absence of technologically innovative safety features, and lack of practice in case of emergency, we will continue to see the rise of gun violence in schools, as well as devastating loss of students across America. Losses in the event of school shooting will persist and possibly increase with a rise in precedent set for weak safety policy. With each school shooting, gun violence in schools becomes more of an accepted norm, and proper attention is no longer given to those who are suffering loss regularly. If schools do not take an aggressive stand for the protection of their students, they will move into the realm of complicity. Schools will look back in the event of tragedy and realize that more could have been done to protect students. Proactive measures are the most successful in protecting campuses. Without adequate safety measures in place, these trends of school shootings will persist, and parents and students will lose faith in their community schools who did not go to great lengths to protect them. In conclusion, schools should rise to the challenge of creating a safe environment for students to learn. This requires investment in innovative measures and rigorous training in order to secure our schools. At a conference where school administrators were educated about the industry that is now school safety, some questioned the high price point for some of these top quality innovative options. In reality, however, anyone would have paid that price to have children lost to school shootings still with us today. So I would urge schools to make the investment knowing they're investing in people's lives. Therefore, I propose that schools create strong safety policies and innovate campuses to protect against gun violence.